Working as intended.
Alright, more back to school things? Maybe? I think I'm getting close to the end. There's one more section to do, I think. Oh, one more whole series. There's still so much to do. Let's see, where am I doing stuff? Right, back at Foundation. The Student Body's Revenge. Hey, Briardian. My adjusting glasses boy. The Student Body's Revenge. Briardian's eyes smolder with determination. What kind of shenanigans we're going to continue to do here? I was wondering when you'd show up. The Temple Knights have deemed Ula fit to recount the events of her kidnapping and have taken her into the room just beyond for questioning, with Blaze to accompany for support. It would appear the questioning is done. Let us see what we might learn. Hi guys. Hail, my good man. I'm Inspector Briardian and this is my associate. I understand that you have spoken with Ula regarding her kidnapping. Is there aught you might share with us? Inspector Briardian, Mr. Monica, I fear that it would seem that Lady Ula knows less of her own abduction than we do. As she tells me, the only people she saw during her captivity were the two thugs now in our custody. We questioned them once thrice over, but they insist their employer had disguised themselves so well they cannot even say for certain if they were man or woman, much less give us a description. For what little it's worth, we did learn that the two were once orphans, raised as charges of the sea, to betray the nation that fed and clothed them for a handful of coin. But I must return to my post. Should we come across anything of actual significance, I shall be sure to alert you. Lazy, are there any details our friend may have neglected to mention? I fear that Ula's testimony proved entirely unenlightening. There is another development, however, that has been troubling me. Rumors that our combatant was behind the abduction are circulating around the Scholastica once more. Again with those asinine allegations. And this time the students seem convinced more than ever of his guilt. No longer content to sit back and wait for events to take their course, they've been pushing for his expulsion. Theo has been doing his best to convince them to disregard the rumors, but it seems any mention of our combatant from Archie only serves to fuel their rage. I must hurry back and help him. Where's Jughead? I suspect that this is less a reflection on the prefect himself than a manifestation of aimless anxiety and fear. Still, I dare say this commotion might prove to be an opportunity in disguise. I shall make way to the vault to continue my own investigation. In the meantime, I ask that you go and keep an eye on the seminarians and near to the ground. Alright, more investigations. Maybe I should have picked up one of the new dungeon quests or something, and then while I wait in queue, continue this quest. Maybe I'll go do Gods of Eld? Torcifers. Torcifers has a message for you from a mysterious stranger. Emily Monaco, during your absence a stranger came calling. Upon learning that you were away, he left a message to the effect that he wished to speak with you and he will await you at the Rising Stones. If you have a mind to oblige a stranger, please be careful. I cannot well explain why, but it put me at ill ease to simply be near him. Just get Gil for these quests. More donuts! Hiding inside. Hiding farther inside. Destination. Who's waiting for me here? Bad people. My thanks for coming. Bad things happening. Well, that name though. Uno Kalhai is my name, and I serve a friend. I sought you out that I might alert you to the rising threat of the beings known as Acons. You are aware of the threat, you say? But I speak not of the primals with which you are exceedingly well acquainted. It may interest you to know that the term Acon and the beings of which it refers precede the Garlean Empire by eras. You see, it is a name by which the Allians called godlike beings, the dark divinity Odin among them, and the Garleans who seek to emulate the glory of ancient Allic have simply availed themselves of it. Pray permit me to continue the tale. Sup, dude? Small, medium, and large. Ah, Ranger, how kind of you to join us. As a warrior of light's comrade, my participation is but to be expected. After all, the matter doth pertain to the very fate of the star. The Acons of Eld, in distance past these mighty beings, did offer fierce resistance to the Allegan Empire. However, they eventually fell to the men of Allag, who devised the means by which to capture them. It did not end with capture, as you well know, for the Allegans also learned how to harness the Aegon's power. They refined this knowledge at the Aetherial Chemical Research Facility in Azys Law, and with the centrifugal crystal engine, they sealed 3 of the beings, the Warring Triad. 'Twas first and foremost to acquire the infinite power of the Warring Triad that the Archbishop did seek Azys Law. But in the wake of his defeat, the bindings which confined the Aecons were severely damaged. Doubt not, but that they will fail completely ere long. No, we do not condemn you for striking down the Archbishop. You are simply fulfilling your destiny, and yet, were the Warring Triad to be released into the world, unimaginable destruction would ensue. Take heart, for there is hope still. Through swift action, we may yet prevent their awakening and see them resealed. But in dealing with this new threat, our first step must be to contend with the old. 2 savage gods are returned, I fear, summoned once more by their worshippers and have strength far surpassing their previous incarnations. I speak of the primals Ravana and Bismarck. If left unchecked, they will inevitably seek to seize the power of the Warring Triad. This will serve to feed the conflicts of chaos and hasten the Aecon's awakening. To wit, we must needs vanquish both their kinds. I pray thee, however, to first focus their gaze upon the primals. Thy gaze upon the primals ere we turn our attention to these Aecons in their fitful slumber. Oh, is this the extreme? I shall return to the waking sands forthwith and consider such measures as are available to us. Meanwhile, I bid thee attend to the task of limiting the primals. Young Unukalhai shall assist thee. Rest assured he is not our enemy, for the time being at least. It's ominous. It's like you're not an enemy yet. Diabolical Bismarck and Thok are on the clock. Alright, I guess later I'll get one of my slaves to help me with that. Start on this. Disarmed. Sulfix looks more agitated than you have ever seen him. What's on your mind now? Uh-oh. Shkars, Uplander seeing it? Giant of Iron rising from river? Still on Sid, leave to learn more, but are not back yet. Greatest plight of Gobby flock. A giant is too big, can squash Idleflyer flat. Where are Uplanders? Calm yourself, Sulfix. Amonica, 'tis well you are here, for our need is dire. A colossus of steam and steel has risen from the Thaliac. It is no mere forgotten contrivance of Shallan. The resultant etheric disturbance confirmed that it is a primal and that it was summoned amidst the ruins left for the river to reclaim. For mercy, it stopped dead no sooner than it had broken the water surface, but so long as it remains in our realm, it may spring to life again at any moment. Yes, but what does Uplander find near Alshire? Is wilderness still heavy with aether? Nay, the other grows perilously thin and more swiftly than I could have imagined. The primals bleeding the land dry. Should be suffered to continue, this entire region will become a barren waste in a matter of moons. No, Gobby Flock has only just found home after long wanderings. Idleshire will not fall. Slowfix will not allow it. And nor will we. I've already spoken with Alphino, and he concurs that we Scions of Seventh Dawn must do all in our power to eliminate the threat, and given its size, I deem it wise to attack from 2 fronts. Our first and most obvious recourse is to keep our foe in check with blade and magic, much as we have done with other such adversaries. Second, I propose that we attempt to cut off the flow of aether which sustains them, mayhap by physically separating the primal from the land. If we were to be rid of the Colossus, I think the latter course is more promising, and mean to enlist Master Matoy as aid in pursuing it. Yet such things take time. Thus, I've asked Master Garland to remain here and keep watch over our foe. Given its apparently mechanical nature, his expertise should prove invaluable to you. To you, I say, for I would leave the fate of Alshire in your hands. Should the primal chance to stir air in my return, you are to join Sid in repelling it. An enviable task, but one for which you are singularly qualified. Yep, leave it to me. Rest assured, I don't mean to linger with Master Matoy any longer than necessary. The moment we find a solution, I shall make haste to rejoin you here. Well then, let us be about our duties. I will leave you to discuss strategies with Sid. Shkal Baxter's Keeper of Knowings for Idleshire. Can't say where Sid has gone. Uplanders should start with Backricks. Alright, go talk to more Gobby friends. Thanks, Gobby friend. Not finished the quest yet, so no jingly shine yet. Alright, I gotta go out. Yes, I gotta go out here. There's somebody that I have to tongue flaps to out there. Hello, Backricks. Hi, Tap Clicks. Gobby gathering out here. Backricks, keeper of knowings and data. What does Uplander wish to learn about? Uplander comes in search of Sid, yes? Hello. My thanks for sharing your knowledge, Backricks. These Illuminati are indeed most hostile. Monica, old friend, you haven't seen Ishtola, have you? You went to see the grumpy old lady? Drained of all either in a matter of mere moons? 7 hells, how much more power does that thing need? Too much, plainly. Well, it sounds as if we have an urgent dismantling job on our hands. From what Backricks has been telling me, the Illuminati are most likely culprits. They have the knowledge to summon a primal and the requisite short-sightedness not to think better of it. Fanatical captures their philosophy nicely, I think. Their goal being nothing less than sole ownership of all the world's technology. Needless to say, they're more than willing to kill anyone who stands between them and what they want. Quite how they managed to coax a primal into the hulk of a Charlatan defense mechanism, I don't know, but it looks like they've made themselves a tiny little fortress inside the Colossus. We'll need to contend with them if we're to disable the thing. As for the task itself, simply destroying whatever serves as its engine would do the trick, assuming it is in fact mechanical. But before all that, we need to find a way in. Through yet another bloody barrier. Barrier is not new. Rose up 3 years ago after ground made shivery shakes. Ruin was freed from riverbed then. Roundrox was there. Saw with own 2 eyes. Roundrox? Sorry, who's... Daughter of Sulfix. Roundrox loves junk more than all other she loves the junk. Was collecting then and is playing now, look. Shiny junk and sparkly rocks. Bitty bobs and whirly cogs. I'm sorry for interrupting, Roundrox, but I need to ask you a question. When the ground shook 3 years ago, did something come bobbing up to the river's surface? Bobbing? Nothing bobbed, silly Uplander. Ground made shivery shakes when giant whirlycogs stood, and then magic walls came up too. So it wasn't the tremor that freed the Colossus, it was the Colossus which caused a tremor. And you're absolutely certain you saw it rise from the waters, young one? Seven hells, I think someone tried and failed to summon it 3 years ago, but was it the Illuminati, or... Brayflox comes to trade tongue flaps, Uplander. Just the goblin. Slowfix tells me you're his resident expert on the Illuminati. Pardon me for a moment while I consult with my fellow Uplander. Monica, if I may make a suggestion, I'll speak with Brayflox and learn what I can of our opponents. In the meantime, could you investigate the Colossus itself? Biggs and Wedge are near where its hand landed on the shore of the Thalic. Join them and see if you can find a way inside the machine. Oh, and good luck with that barrier. I'm being Stalker! I'm being spied on. Hi, guys. There's a red bricks out here, too. I'm not gonna come to see the Colossus, say. The chief has us looking for a way, and of course there's a bleeding bear on the thing. Another one. Look, the rest when the big fella came down, his hand clamped onto the shore here, punching a hole in its defenses and leaving that round portal there unprotected. Only trouble is locked and doesn't even have a key. For want of a better idea, Wedge is listening in on to Illuminati Link Pro communications in hopes they'll mention the trick to opening it. Dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's only one signal coming from inside the giant. It's always the same pattern. I'm certain it's a code. The Illuminati always use coded messages. From what I hear, they developed a special kind of crystal specifically for transmitting Link Pro waveforms. If we get our hands on one, the chief's decoding machine here, we should theoretically be able to use it to untangle the meaning. Quite where we find such a crystal is another matter. Does that planter know Roundrox? She makes great collection of junk and things. Maybe is keeping Crystal at shortstop. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck? It just so happens I've been working on a means of identifying the crystal in question. Here, take this 3G7001B. Sprinkle that powder over the so-called collection and look for anything that glimmers. It should contain the material we need. You may need to borrow one of Roundrox's treasures, but I'm sure she won't mind if you tell her it's for a good cause. Alright, back north. Alright, playing with Roundrox's drunk. Amongst the rubble of bits and bobs, you spy a faintly glimmering stone. Glowstone. Well, like the Minecraft material? What is that plan doing? Sneaky taker! Treasure belongs to Roundrox! Explaining. Our planet needs it for a giant of whirlycogs, but glowstone is most favorite. It's treasure of Roundrox. Alright. But Uplander must promise to bring it back, or Roundrox is getting very angry. Alright, thanks. Hey guys, I'm back. No burns, I see. Oh, no reason. Tell me, ominous. Tell me, did the 3701B reveal anything? Yes. Thank you, and you have my word that I'll give this back to Roundrox when I'm finished with it. Now let's take a listen to what the Illuminati are really saying. Alright, decrypting. Goodness, all infernal beeping is gone. Now it's a message. Clear as day, let's see. Today's schedule for Gordius. Registration at 7th bell. Stop. Allows the Coral Cubs at 3rd bell. Stop. Rest and recuperation 2nd bell. Repeat. Today's schedule for Gordius. Coral lousing, but I'm sure that was... But I'm sure that was the only message. This has to be some sort of jest. Don't be doubtful, it's just another code. You need the proper crystal and the proper knowledge to understand it. Bleeding Illuminati. Should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Quite the conundrum you have there. Hi, Stalker. But it's your lucky day. I'll crack the code, assuming we can come to a little arrangement. I'm a treasure hunter by trade, and there's a certain something I want inside the giant. I help you get inside, and you help me get out. Fair deal, no? The name's Mid, by the way. She's so mid. Charmed, I'm sure you are aware that the interior is almost certainly swarming with Illuminati, yes? Why do you think I came to you? There's strength in numbers, friend. Best we join forces, eh? Now, the words you intercepted are largely gibberish, but paired with the numbers, well, you'll see. 7 stop, 3 stop, 2, wasn't it? You the big one. See the pipes atop the hatch? There ought to be a valve up there with a hand wheel. Imagine it's a clock and try turning it right to 7, left to 3, and then back to 2. Does it open? Alert! Hey! We did it! So happy! Big's the superhero landing. Am I gonna find out what's going on inside? Shenanigans inside? So Illuminati had been announcing the way to enter the Colossus all along? Strange. Well done for cracking the code, anyway. I had less success, sadly. I'm afraid Britflox knows little more than we do about the Illuminati's plan or the primal. Come, things aren't as bad as all that. We found a way inside the machine. We'll just have to learn about it as we go. It's only a massive mammoth, after all. Stopping it should be as simple as destroying its core. If we send in a suitably intrepid team of surveyors, I don't see why we can't trace the machine's power back to a source via the struts and piping. And I'm just the woman to lead the party. What say you? Leave it to me. And what of me, pray tell? I open the way for the grand expedition of yours. Surely that's earned me a place in your little band to hunt for my treasure. You did as you promised, and you may do as you will now, but not as long as your treasure hunt doesn't endanger the mission. I'll join you if I could, but there's something I need to see to first. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge here in case of emergencies. Good luck, my friend. Thumbs up, Chief. Alright, getting fisted in the... Your father's getting fisted. Alright, Stone Sky see things as well. Gordius can be accessed. Her name is MIDE. She's still mid. Getting fisted in the father. Then wait in the queue. Oh, that was quick. DPS fall asleep? Nope. Welcome to the inside of the robot. There's steam that pushes you around. Get steamed on. What, like Valve Corporation? Run for it! Swiftcast Fairy. Surecast. No steam knockbacks. Alright, fucker. Ignore the ads. I remember Savage for this was like the biggest DPS checks, like, do you know how to play the game? Spoiler, I never knew how to play the game at this time. As did like 90% of the population. Couldn't meet the DPS to the check here. Here's another doll that spawned. Knock back. Oh, never mind. Just jumped back. Just does simple AoEs. Another doll. Come on, guys, kill the Faust. I shouldn't be doing more damage than the Dancer and the Dragoon, apparently. Well, I guess the Dragoon was trying to kill Yaz. Guys, there's a third ad up. Also, Dragoon, you shouldn't stand in the AoE. Oh, this is gonna be terrible, isn't it? Poor Dragoon. I would have healed him, but that was all completely avoidable damage. So usually when you fight this boss, you just tank them both over in the corner and just kill them before they can what is it? Detonate? Self-destruct? But I feel like the DPS in this group isn't high enough for that. Which is pretty sad, because you don't actually need very high DPS to do that. Alright, Hangar will be sealed off in 15 seconds. Explosions! Oh, I'm a fire in my laser! Dragoon just sat in it. I'm getting preyed on. Eat missiles! Missile, missile, missile. More missiles. That's a lot of missiles. Like, just heal through it. Get out of those resin. I remember on Savage, I think those things leave puddles. And lasers! Here come the alarms. Something, something, take them to puddles? Is there something I can take them to? Why did I jump back? Here comes the second one. Probably gonna have to separate them. Because they're still pretty healthy. Camera, do you have to stand in that? Ow! SK boss is dead. But yeah, the group didn't have enough DPS to just kill one then kill the other right away. Actually, I have to sit here and DPS them slowly down. Do I need any of this loot? No, I don't think I need any of this loot. See you guys. More cutscene. Exploit done adventure. Here for some treasure. Well, what have we here? Sorry, Roundrocks cannot stay away. So many new treasures here. Treasures? Oh, you mean the odd bits and bobs. Well, little one, these Machina are yours to take. And some of them are rather beautiful, I must admit. Uplander can tell pretty machines from ugly, just like Roundrocks. No harm in adding one more to our company, is there? I'll keep an eye on her. Shinies. Damn it, I was so sure. Not the proper jingly shine? Uplanders are unwise to come. Most of all is Treasure Hunter. What she seeks is not here, not in all of Gordius. You're out of your Gordius. Douche spotted? Douche is spotted. That pussy. As I live and breathe, quick thinks all thoughts, master of the Illuminati. Gobbies are backstrapped with boom dust. Uplander shoots everybody kabooms. Uplander ear catches tongue flaps of Master. Enigma Codex for plans making is gone. Illuminati are already undertaking Alexander initiative. Foolish Gobby, secrets are kept silent. Tongue flaps never trade with outsiders. Has Quick Things not ordered us so many times? Master, forgive noise making you empty head. Gobby did not think. Please, Gobby will take any punishment, just not worst one. Now. Explosions. Uplander is shooting Gobbies. And Boomdust does not harm Uplanders. Uplander blood enough for fallen Gobbykin. I think now would be a good time to leave. Uplander, what is Enigma Codex? Treasure? It's an enigma. Yes, young one. My treasure. Run away! Angry goblin. Alright, way back outside of Alexander. Yup. Hi, Biggs. Bleeding hell, face to face with the head of the Illuminati, eh? Sounds like you had quite an adventure, and this Alexander initiative has got me wondering. Do you reckon it might be the giant's name? No sign of the core, though, eh? You'll just have to look further in. I'll let the chief know anyway. He'll be happy to hear Mid and Roundrocks are safe, too. Those two haven't stopped talking about machines since they got back. I can't say I've ever thought of junk as pretty, but to each their own. Alright, well, let's do school things. Finish off school things, and then come back for more Alexander initiative. Let's jump back into the cathedral. Pray keep your voice down when inside the Scholasticate. Okay. Jump right into a cutscene. Yep. What? Fight, fight, fight. Panic, panic, panic. And what those ruffians truly were in his employ. Are we to stand idly by until he betrays one of us? He did poor Ulla? Yeah, so there. His refusal to provide with anything resembling a reasonable explanation speaks for itself. The boy is guilty, and I say we move to have him expelled from the Scholasticate, effective immediately. Theomacent, I demand that you take the lead in his charge. No, do not want. Hello. Think the free you've come. Since the headmistress called everyone away for an emergency meeting, it's been absolute chaos. They were so incensed they won't listen to a word. Theo, I say, perhaps if you were to speak with them, it would help to soothe their angry feelings. Alright, /soothe them. Just like when you do some, what are those, Lev quests. Soothe, soothe. I'm saying that I dare say the right of it. The prefect has the riches of Houses ML at his disposal, and powerful allies just waiting to spring to his aid. We must step back and consider our actions carefully, lest we find ourselves strung up by the necks. So it's just we do nothing? The longer we dither without taking action, the greater risk of him finding us out. And when he does, he'll see every last one of us suffer for it, mark my words. He's frightened, as are we all, but that is precisely why we must proceed with caution. As you rightly observed, if we act out of anger or despair, we only doom ourselves to failure. Please, ma'am, if you would rally his spirits as you have calmed mine down. My favorite animation. But of course, exactly to say, forgive me, my fear has gotten the better of me. Indeed, there is little he can do to us if we act as one and proceed with due caution. And remember, once Narcombian is removed, once Archie is removed from the school, the administration will keep us safe, so we need not fear his retribution ever again. We must move swiftly but surely to ensure his expulsion. Theo, can we count on you to lead us? He's back to panicking. He's like, no, I don't wanna. Thank you. Now that everyone is feeling more at ease, let's open the floor for discussion. I welcome any and all opinions, provided they are delivered in a calm and orderly fashion. I believe there's just cause to expel Archie, As Monica was kind enough to point out, however, we should not act brashly. That is why you, Theo, with your calm demeanor, are best suited to head our appeal to have him removed. What say you? Given the way he's treated you in the past, I can understand why you readily assume the worst of him. I cannot help you believe, however, that he, too, is a victim in all this. I strain to think that anyone who cares so deeply about the Scholastic and its inhabitants could commit such an atrocity. Theo, for the Fury's sake, you would defend the very individual who for the past 2 years ridiculed and tortured us? Is it so impossible for you to believe that he is capable of such villainy? Until there's proof to say he's guilty, we must give him the benefit of the doubt. Theo is right, Lee. I bear no great love for Archie either, but even the Temple Knights have been unable to uncover a single piece of evidence tying him to the kidnapping. The same knights who have pulled the wool over our eyes for 1,000 years, stripping us of all we own to protect men like him? How heartening that is to hear. I would have thought that after all you endured at Archie's hands, you would stand with us. I see how I was wrong. Friends, it would seem the commoner has grown too content under the nobleman's yoke to fight for his ideals. If we are to seek justice, sir, we must do so with our own strength, our own voices. Let us draft a petition that our grievances might be heard and the blackguard expelled. And shrug. Wait! How can they be so blind? The villain who kidnapped Ula is playing us all for fools, stoking the flames of hatred that we might all be consumed by them. Alright, well, let's solve this mystery. The innocent looks down in sighs and defeat. I feel like I've done more to dissuade them. The blind persecution will only serve to further divide us, and Archie's expulsion would be a tremendous loss for Scholastic. Why will no one listen to reason? Theo, there's still time to turn things around. I'm sure I'll help you in any way I can. Thank you for your kind words. Indeed, it's not too late to reverse the course of today's events. We should try speaking with Father Saturn. Surely he'll know what to do. Incredible, despite all that, he's still intent on saving Archie. Malga's not talking him out of it now. Considering how our last discussion ended, it would be much at ease if he would accompany us. I should be staying behind. There are a few things that I would tend to hear. My dear Blaze, if you would, I could do with an extra pair of hands. In that case, Lee, Monica, let us make haste to the cathedral. The headmistress' meeting will not run forever, and we must catch Father Saturn before the others do. Saturn, like the wrestler? Hey, Saturnois. Jameson, Lee, and Monica, whatever brings you here in such a hurry? I'm happy to consider the petition I just received from the student body. Not to worry, rest assured that I have reviewed the document and will be submitting it to the headmistress shortly, along with my own strong recommendation in favor of our comedians' immediate and irrevocable expulsion from the Scholasticate. Wait, Father, we are not here to support the petition, but rather to argue against it. We cannot rightly expel Archie for a crime that the evidence, or lack thereof, suggests he did not even commit. Quite true, and yet it is not because I believe him guilty that I have chosen to move forward with this proposal. Then why? For too long has our church been corrupted by men and women who would see its foundation built upon sin instead of virtue. I mean to put an end to this vicious cycle. What are you saying? Innocent Lee, there's something you must know. When I was young, I too was taken under the wing of Father Choiseau. It was under his good graces that I gained admission into the Scholasticate, not unlike yourselves. Did I make a good choice, so or not? I devoted myself entirely to my studies, and that I might prove myself worthy of his kindness. My dedication was rewarded when I graduated at the top of my class and secured a prized position in the archives, alongside some of the Holy See's most esteemed individuals. It was there that I met the man who would come to become my closest friend and confidant. For 10 years, he had toiled in the sea's darkest recesses, working to see that the ugly truth of Ishgard's past would never see the light of day, until the day the burden grew too great to bear and he took his own life. For years, I was torn between grief and anger, not being able to save him from his fate. Fearing my anguish would consume me, I found succor in my religion. Day and night, I'd pore over scripture, and soon I found myself back in these very halls, not as a student, but as a teacher. A tragic story indeed, and yeah, my condolences for your loss. What does that have to do with Archie? Of the Fury's love with all men receive, and by the balance of her spear will all be set free. Doubtless you too are familiar with these words. Those who defy the teachings of Volume 11 commit the greatest sin of all. They must bear full responsibility for the injustice wrought on the victims of our society. Master Archie has done naught but scorn the truths penned within the tome. His dismissal is long overdue. This is madness. The Fury knows I bear no love for the bastard, but what you propose to lay the blame for generation upon generation of the Church's transgressions at his feet. I do only what must be done. Countless lives were lost in the Dragon Song War. We must needs purge the church of any who espouse the false ideal that all men are not born equal, that the sins of our past are never repeated, and that the clergy might be restored to their former glory. I have faith on you, my children. Reflect on the teachings of Father Choiseul, as if you do not understand now, you will soon enough. It is true that Father Choiseul was an ardent advocate of equality, who strove always to adhere to the principles espoused and equal under her ever-watchful gaze. It is equally true that our commandant has been outspoken in condemning that self-same passage. Still, it hardly warrants his expulsion. You must admit the man has a point. Making an example of the son of one of Ishgar's most prominent houses would send a message, and it just might be the fastest way to bring about the change he seeks. Whether or not that change would be for the better, however, is another matter entirely. It was one thing when it was just an angry mob of seminarians calling for a commandant's head. Now that Father Saturnois intends to lead the charge is another matter entirely. Whatever are we to do? We must speak with him, or... I mean, yeah, let's chat with him. But of course, Archie is nothing if not astute. He's sure to have an idea or two of how to extricate himself from this predicament. Come, let us make for the pillars. Alright, let's go see Archie and Jughead. Hang on, they're just at the passage over here. Hi guys. What base accusation would you care to hurl at me this time? Attempting to destroy the church, or perhaps you're here to bring to light the personal hand I had in instigating the Dragon Song War? Perhaps instead of entertaining every ridiculous rumor you hear, you might actually make yourself useful for once. You can start by questioning those two beside you. After all, they're the ones who arranged this entire farce, and I've been spreading these letters in a pathetically transparent attempt to incriminate me that I might be expelled. Please listen, Archie. We know that the accusations being leveled at you are unfounded. I know we've had our differences, but today we come to lend you our aid. He's so full of rage, he can scarce hear a word I say. Please, Malika, perhaps you can try soothing him. Alright. Soothing finishes the quest. Soothe! Calm down, calm down. Stop being angry. Don't make me laugh. Expect me to believe that you, the two who would stand to gain the most from my expulsion, have not so much as seen the nonsense that's been making the rounds in the dormitories? The truth revealed. Our commandant is ML a kidnapper? Trust me, were we to try and implicate you in a crime you didn't commit, we would have done a far more thorough job than this. Indeed, these writings simply make an appeal to emotion, with not a single piece of concrete evidence to support the accusation. Fine, perhaps it wasn't you two who, after all. Still, you rest assured that when I get my hands on the commoner that did this, they'll rue the day they thought to meddle with the affairs of House Zamail. You better realize we commoners are not the only ones on trial here. You are. I said you should watch your tongue unless you would prefer to lose the only allies you seem to have these days. Do not lose heart, Archie. Together we'll uncover the truth and see that this baseless petition against you is withdrawn. You're too positive. Why would I need your help? My innocence is beyond question, and the Fuhrer herself will see my good name restored. I pray that she will. In the meantime, we too shall do our part. For your sake, Theo, leave it be. That aside, where did these papers even come from, and why didn't we receive one? If I had to guess, perhaps they were given only to those most inclined to believe the accusations. Foolishness at best. If anything, these letters only give me the clues I need to identify the coward behind them. As a matter of fact, I believe I know precisely where to begin my search. Brilliant. We'd be more than happy to assist you in the investigation. Where would you have us go? And hand you the very knife you would put in my back? Do you think me daft? If the petition is approved and I am expelled, that would put you right at the top of the class. How very convenient. Oh, Archie, don't you see? It is not for awards or accolades that I study the scripture as I do. I seek only to follow in the footsteps of Father Choiseul. It was he who granted me the chance to achieve the grand vision he had for our realm, and bring relief to those in need of spiritual succor. Of the furious love will all men receive, and by the balance of our spear will all be set free. I would share the wisdom of these words with all of Ishgard. Volume 11 of the 72 Articles of Hellenic Polity. Humph, what is it with the commoners and their obsession with the over-idealistic screed? Come, Archie, let us not waste any further time entertaining the idle musings of the riffraff. Look, we can manage just fine without your help, but if you do find anything, not that we expect you to, you'll report back to us if you know it's good for you, understood? If you know better, I'd almost say that sounded like a thank you. Well, if there's nothing else to do here, I suppose we should set to work. Next idea, Lee. Now, where do you propose we should start? The Furies save us. We should start by doing another quest. Alright. Talk to you. Innocent deliberates on how best to proceed with the investigation. Spectacles. Inspector's eyeglasses. We can only track down the author of the letters and convince them to recant these statements. The student body would have no choice but to withdraw their motion. But where would we even search? By searching for more of the same document. A brilliant plan. By examining all the letters that have been distributed throughout the Scholastic, we may very well find clues leading us to the culprit. Instead, then, let's return to the Scholastic and commence our search. Alright, back inside there. Shh, be quiet. No causing noise. Hey, Crammy. There's already appraised me of the situation. Not that you need to, mind you. As for that very reason that I remained behind with Blacey to investigate the origin of the nasty rumors flying about. It didn't take long for us to come through to the letters and coax one of the seminarians to show us the document they had received. I investigated further, and behold, these are the ones I managed to collect in my search thus far. Under normal circumstances, baseless invectives penned here would hardly suffice to convince anyone. It would seem, however, years of harbored animosity have blinded people to their better judgment. Just blaze it. Oh yes, in fact, Crumvar and I have been gathering letters all evening. Feast your eyes on this. One of the girls said that the letter just showed up on her bed as if out of nowhere. I returned to my quarters to check if I'd received something similar, but there was nothing to be found. At first I thought it was simple oversight, but after asking around I learned that there were more than a few others who, like me, had been overlooked. Selective discord. Hey, Gen Chat. Suspicious letters? What are we talking about? I've not received anything of the sort. Now that you mention it, however, I did observe some of the signings tossing out crumpled slips of paper. Map these the letters you seek. Go look for crumpled paper. Suspicious letter. On the floor. 4 out of 5. Somebody tossing garbage out in the corner. Find a waste paper basket, would you? So, did your search prove fruitful? Yes. Excellent, let's take a close look and see what we can discern. There's shenanigans. How curious. To appear our culprit has gone through the trouble of writing and distributing these 3 distinctly different versions of the letter. The first reads, as illustrated by the recent abduction that has taken place within these sacred halls, our competent will stop at nothing to eliminate those who stand in his way. Such blatant disrespect of her teachings must not be tolerated. The second says, it is one thing to disagree with the opinions of your fellow seminarians. It is quite another to abuse one's influence to have your ideological opponents removed. Ula, firm believer in the teachings of Volume 11 of the Articles of Holy Equality and staunch advocate of equality, fell victim to our competent's treachery. The villain cannot go unpunished. And last but not least, Ula's copy of Volume 11 was discovered in the prefect's room shortly after the girl's disappearance. This, more than anything, proves beyond a shadow of doubt that our competent is guilty. The final letter at least offers an argument. It's hardly a compelling one. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but aren't there several copies of the Articles of Holy Equality sitting on our library shelves? While I can't speak to why Carmen would have one in the first place, the book found in its quarters could have been any one of those. Please, when you spoke with Lila earlier, did she mention anything about Volume 11? I don't think anything of it at the time, but while Ula was recovering in the infirmary, she asked me that I retrieve her copy from her room. When I went to look for it, it wasn't there. Which would mean the tome was removed unbeknownst to her. So it would seem, after all, she testified that when the 2 thugs seized her at the marketplace, she had nothing on her person but a pocket of gil. Presumably the book was still in her quarters then. It would be one thing if the book had disappeared with Ula, but for someone to sneak into her room and move it after the fact, well, as if the culprit intended to use it to frame our comment all along. Well, I'd bet my last gil you're right, and that's the reason none of us received the letter. We're the only people who would be able to confirm with Ula that the book had been pilfered from her room. But it would go such great lengths to frame Archie. That's our theory, always trying to help his fellow man, even that man is all that stands between him and the top of the class. It's enough to leave a girl smitten, isn't it, Blacey? What are you talking about? I'm not smitten. I just admire him for his kind heart is all. Just get married already. Fall over? No falling over this time. Where did she dash off like that? Has she taken a hill? Idiot! In my speaking, I'll go and make sure she's okay. You dense motherfucker! Oh dear. Well, whatever it is, I hope the shit recovers quickly. In the meantime, we need to put our heads together if we're to hope to get out of this mess. Monica, what do you think? Why would anyone go to such lengths to implicate our competent? To throw those off the scent? Of course. None save the kidnapper, him or herself, would have such a strong motive to concoct this convoluted plan, which raises the possibility that the kidnapping was not but a plot to have our competent expelled in the first place. In other words, if we can track down the person behind these letters, we'll have ourselves the culprit behind Ula's abduction. We must inform Inspector Briardian straight away. He's currently conducting investigation at the vault, you say? Let us make our way there with all speed. Let's vault on over to it. Hey guys, just hanging out here. Are we heading to the vault? Or are we all going together? That's him, over there. Over here. We found evidence. I don't see what brings you all the way here. Do you have something to report? I see. Show me these letters. I'll determine if they are as suspicious as you insist. Here's everything we've been able to find. The author goes out of his way to mention that Ula's copy of Volume 11 was found in a combatant's room. The fool and his feeble plot to frame the prefect, he has only incriminated himself. I trust that you too have put the pieces together. You have proven an able associate indeed. It is from here, however, that the real work begins. Should at any time you begin to feel your powers of concentration waver or your intention to detail slip, you need but do this. Take a deep breath and focus your eyes to distance. At that moment, the solution will appear before you. Also, make sure you adjust your glasses. Yup. The game is afoot, and if we intend to win the day, we must remain vigilant. Now, let's get our man. Alright, spectacles. It's important. Glasses are important. You have the most spectacles. Hurry, glasses! Megane. Alright, final quest. Scholastica coat. Satisfied smirk steals across Briardian's face as all the pieces of the puzzle fall into place. Before we begin pursuing our man in earnest, answer me this. Can any of you tell me where Ula's copy of Volume 11 currently is? The letter was found in Carbon's room, although, for all we know, that could be a complete and utter bollocks. Monica, I see you managed to keep your word to Le Brassoir. Very good. Let me enlighten the rest of you. The tome is currently in my possession. Le Brassoir could discovered in Carbon's room and turned it over to us in secret for fear it would fuel the ongoing rumors. Now, knowing what you do, it is time to put your minds to the test. What do you surmise the relationship between our talented writer friend and the thief that lifted the book from Ula's quarters? So I believe these have the same chat and these two too. Alright, they're one and the same. Sensible deduction. The planning of the book in our competent quarters and the subsequent distribution of these letters were both carried out to a common end, to implicate the prefect in Ula's abduction and force his expulsion. It would stand to reason the perpetrators are either working in tandem or in fact are one and the same. While that in itself does not reveal the identity of the culprit, it does lead us to the next question. Who would have been able to enter and exit Ula's room unnoticed? The perpetrator was able to move quickly and not draw attention to themselves in the act, leading me to believe our book snatcher had easy access to all rooms within the dormitory. How, you might ask? Key, something only 3 people currently possess. Father Saturnois and the prefects are competent in Le Brassoir. So one of them is a culprit, but which could it be? It's like, it couldn't be. Le Brassoir sounds pretty guilty. But he's our competent's closest confidant. He's the only person besides Monica and Inspector here to have come in contact with the book. I'd say is a prime suspect. Of course, it's about speculation. Monica, I hear that you possess a great gift, one which you employ to reveal long hidden truths about our nation. Might you be able to use this power to shine some light on the matter at hand? So it's not yours to control. I guess that means we'll need to rely on our own wits to obtain the answers we seek. Fortunately, I have an idea of my own, but I'll need your help to see it through. Well then, Theo, let us put our idea of yours in action. Last I heard, our commandant and Leprosar have taken refuge in Zimel Manor. Let's make our way there post-haste. I'll leave it to you to see that the bumblings of those three do not interfere with the final stage of my investigation at the vault. But do not tarry long. With Father Saturnois throwing his full support behind the petition, our commandant has but a few bells before his name is permanently struck from the registry. I'll do what I can to see that the proceedings are delayed, but I cannot guarantee it will buy us all the time we need. Godspeed. I'll see you at the hearing. The life and lies of Father Saturnois. Saturnois? Hi guys, what's going on here? Findings? As if anything you four might take up can help me now. The hearing's about to begin. My fate is good as sealed. There's still time. Earlier you pledged your innocence to us. Let us pledge it once more at the hearing. Before one and all, the truth shall speak for itself. The truth? You expect those fools to see the truth when this is evidence to the contrary is staring them in the face? How do you think this plan your pea-sized minds have uncovered will succeed when all Leprosaur's best attempts have failed? We will succeed, for it is not just I that stands with you, but the hero who brought to light the truth beyond our very nation. Yes, there is nothing that she has not seen. Surely you understand the implications, don't you, Lebrossoir? Monica has the ability to peer into events of the past. Indeed, it was through her visions that Ishgard's true origins were brought to light. You need to say no more. She has already used her vaunted power to see that I was the one behind it all. Except I didn't. Yes, it was I that kidnapped Ula. It was I that snuck into her room and stole Volume 11. It was I that distributed the letters. Also that I might implicate Archie. How satisfying it is to finally be able to say it out loud. For so long I have had to pledge my revenge in silence, and mask my hatred of you with hollow praise and bashful smiles. Lebrossoir, what matters is this you speak? You truly are oblivious, aren't you? Don't allow me to enlighten you. After all the transgressions your family has committed against mine, did you truly think I would remain loyal to you? For centuries your house humiliated us. It was something we'd come to accept, but when the wall between the nobility and the common class came tumbling down, we were met with the most harrowing truth of all, that all our suffering had been for naught. Everything we grew up believing about our status was a fabrication, tall tales spun to keep us complacent. In reality, you're no better than the two broom rats beside you. You never were. It was a terrible realization, but one that also gave me hope. Hope that you could be taken down just as any other. That's when I began plotting. Ula's abduction, the letters, and the rumors they spurred, all was part of my master plan to bring shame and dishonor to you and your family, as you have mine. I've staked everything, yes, even my very freedom, but it was worth it to give you the taste of our pain. Bah! What's more, I bribed the two kidnappers into abducting Ula with money from your purse, and having entrusted the management of your finances to me, you never suspected a thing. Lebrossoir, I can only imagine the pain you've endured, but to seek revenge in this way, nevertheless, I thank you for confessing to your crimes. Now we can absolve our commandant of the false charges brought against him. Wait a minute, you mean that she didn't actually see into the past? You deceived me! If you recall, Theo never explicitly said that Malika had a vision of what happened to Ula. He merely observed that she possesses such an ability. Truth be told, it's not even a power that can be controlled at will. Now then, Archie, I suppose that's all the proof of innocence you'll need. Let's escort Lebrossoir to the hearing and have him repeat his most dramatic confession before the headmistress. Sad elitist. I never saw it, the hatred, I mean. How could I have been so blind? We've been friends from childhood, and never for a moment did I question his loyalty. What a fool I was. However did I think I could stand at the forefront of our nation when I was so oblivious to that which was happening right under my very nose? Archie, pray do not torture yourself so. Rather open your heart and allow Holland's wisdom to set you free. Once you come to see Lebrossoir not only as your friend, but as your peer, I promise that both of you will find a way to mend any bonds that have been broken. Positivity. The furious love that all men receive and the balance of her spirit will all be set free. You truly believe those words, don't you? You cling to them even when reality does all it can to prove you wrong. I suppose it's that unwavering faith that your friends find so endearing. Now then, it's time for me to put my own faith to the test and face my fate head on. May the Fury have mercy. So what are we waiting around here for? We have a hearing to attend. I'll meet you there. There's something I must confirm with the inspector first. I cannot shake the feeling that this affair runs far deeper than any of us could have imagined. If you would please accompany our commandant to his hearing and see to that nothing goes away in my absence. Shenanigan music. Here I'm way out over by the Astrocom. I believe this is the final Scholastic quest. Alright, Scholastic Deacon. D is nuts. Alright, let's go check out this hearing. I must say, Master Professor, that I'm extremely disappointed that anyone, much less a student of our upstanding establishment, would commit such atrocities. I'm truly at a loss for words. Headmistress Alvian, if I may, do you not find the timing of these confessions to be incredibly convenient? It's as if Master Professor here has been coerced into admitting to crimes he himself didn't commit. Let us not rush to condemn a man who may very well be innocent. We must also keep in mind that this incident will have repercussions that extend beyond the Scholastic. Distrust to our church has never been so high. If we were to expel either one of our prefects, both of whom have strong ties to houses of mail, we will lose any credibility our establishment still has in the eyes of the citizens. To this end, I would propose an alternative plan. We will make a full disclosure of the scandal to the public, together with an announcement that St. Endlem Scholastica will be temporarily closed. It is past time we pushed for a full reformation of the school and its curriculum. And there it is, the confession I've been waiting for. Confession? Master Bearden, explain yourself. From the start, I had my suspicions that someone was pulling strings behind the scenes, someone who had secured a high enough position within the clergy to manipulate students and the system. I poured through records, closely examining any who fit this description. It was no easy task, but I finally found what I was searching for, and combined with the confession Theomason obtained from Le Brossoir, I was able to uncover the true culprit. I speak of you, Saturn, and I do not call you father, for you are no priest. Documents admitting you into this current position were all forged. You manipulated Leprechaun into carrying out what you yourself could not. You stirred up discord among the students and fomented the people's distrust of the clergy in the hopes of creating an even greater rift between the people of Ishgard and the clergy, all in the hopes of seeing the Scholastica closed down once and for all. But I don't understand. Why would Father Saturnois seek the ruin of the Scholasticate? The answer to that would belie his past. Over a decade ago, Saturn graduated top of his class and was welcomed to the ranks of the Holy See. It was there that he was assigned work as an expurgator. A gator. What are you talking about? In my years serving the Holy See, I've never heard of such a post. Expurgator. I'd be more surprised if you had her holy body of decency, a sector that is comprised of select individuals, is perhaps the best kept of Ishgard's many secrets. Its existence is known only to a handful of people beside the Archbishop himself. I am impressed, Master Bearden. It would seem your reputation is well deserved. Though I must correct you on one account. I am no expurgator, but rather one of the so-called watchmen consigned to guard them. That said, we shared a similar fate. Both expurgator and watchmen alike were struck from official records and confined to the bells of the Holy See. Damned to live out our lives in the shadows as pallid husks of the men and women we could have been. Also, someday we might fulfill one task. Where written records were deemed too dangerous, expurgators would serve as living documents, orally passing down our nation's greatest secrets. When time came for the Archbishop's successor to ascend the throne, we would briefly emerge from our isolation to pass from our mouths to their ears, all we know of Ishgard before sinking back into obscurity. Of course, no highborn man or woman would be condemned to this fate. No, this was a destiny reserved for commoners, orphans with no ties to the world above. 7 hells if the truth hadn't come to light, Theo and I. Men and women forced to sacrifice their own lives, with our nation's darkest secrets might be preserved forever unbeknownst to our people. I can scarce believe my ears. Father Saturn, the friend you spoke of. Yes, he was an exploiter. Such anguish did his duties cause him that he chose death over that wretched excuse for life. And while a new era is upon us, one that does not condemn the innocent to a life of despair for the sake of one man, it does not undo the injustice of 1,000 years. It was to right the wrongs of the past that I escaped that foul dungeon and made my way back to the place where it all began. This twisted institution, the place responsible for stealing the bright futures of young orphans, needs to be closed down for good. Father Saturn, your actions are heinous, and I can see no way to condone them. That said, if there is truth to what you say, it perhaps would be best for us to suspend all lessons until we can reach a consensus as at how we proceed. But Headmistress Elviane, would not closing down the Scholastica be akin to evading our responsibilities as men and women of the clergy? It is our duty to speak the truth, not bury it. For too long the people have been naught but lies. It is time we took the initiative and gave them reason to put their faith in us once more. I must agree with Theo. As I've learned firsthand, we must take care never to abuse our power and privilege, lest we hurt the people closest to us. To keep silent would be to repeat the mistakes of our past. The only way we can move forward is to take responsibility for our actions and make an earnest effort to reach out to those we have wronged. While we may never receive forgiveness, at least we can attempt to atone for any anguish we may have caused those who did not deserve it. If it is true that all men are born equal, as I have heard so many in this room preach time and time again, then all are entitled to know the truth. Let us lead by example and freely share all that we have learned here today. Father Saturn, while I cannot pretend to understand your deal or soothe the fear that has taken hold in your heart, I can promise you one thing. I swear on Father Choice's copy of the Parables of Saint Danaphin that not you, nor any of those who shared your fate will ever again be forgotten. Slow walk to prison. Thus always laid bare before the public. The atrocity suffered by expert and watchmen alike, along with the head of the Scholastica and the Holy See, had in their terrible... Too fast. So a new path was forged that day, one that would see a renewed faith in the church and its teaching, where citizens would come to learn that all men should be regarded as equal, not only in the eyes of Helene, but also by one another. Plenty of time for this message, though. Alright, to jail with you. Alright, go talk to Briardian. Finish this quest line, all done. Nope, talk to Theo. Another cutscene. Thank you for restoring peace to Scholastica. You have reminded us that there is a world beyond these doors that relies as much upon us as we do them. You have opened our eyes and shown us that destiny is but the choices we make. If we are strong and persevere, I have no doubt that we can rebuild the Scholastica and regain the people's trust. Now that your work here is done, I suppose time for farewells is upon us. Will you be departing Ishgard immediately? It's sad to say farewell, but let's send you and the Inspector off in style. Will you be a part of the Hildebrand quest line as well? Ah, there's my trust associate. I feared I would not be able to bid you a proper farewell before I left. On behalf of my uncle, allow me to thank you for all your hard work. There's still so much fighting and bickering going on. Couldn't you stay with us just a bit longer? I fear there are more pressing mysteries that demand my attention, not to mention a certain young lady in Ulda who awaits my return. Oh, another client of yours, I take it? Theo's your head screwed on backwards? He's talking about his... Tactless fools of both of you. But I suppose you're nothing if not sincere. Hey, Theo? Now you're best friends. And I'll admit that naivety is one of your more endearing traits. Combined with the blunderings of the idiot beside you, it's like as not to bring this classicate to ruin. That's why I need someone with extensive knowledge of the Ishgard and the proper connections to actually bring about the change you seek. Someone like me. Alright, get married. You've got competition. There's a man looking to steal his way into our Dithio's heart. Lazily, it seems you've got competition. Fear you take y'all, call me what you will, but Theo would never replace me with anyone, much less kind of snake like Archie. Theo's getting a harem. I first can hear such playful banter among my friends. It would seem our ways are finally behind us. Before we celebrate, however, there's one last thing. At least I'd like to thank you for your support. Were it not for your meticulous notes and sharp eyes, Ula would still be missing. Monocle Inspector, words are not enough to express our gratitude. It was only because of you that we were able to unmask the perpetrator and restore peace to our school. But as father choice have brought you to us in Ingorgang Mills, I cannot help but feel how long guided you to us in our time of need. We hope to one day repay the kindness you have shown us by rebuilding the Scholasticate. When next you visit, we hope she will have retaken her place as the nation's top establishment of higher learning, and once again serve to light the people's way back to the halls of Halone. Like there's a lot of looking around in this ending. Our Fruit Nation has seen her share of tragic turmoil, but I take heart in knowing that there are those such as yourself to watch over her and see that she does not stray from her course. Till we meet again. Alright, walk off into the sunset. He's like, peace out. Alright, Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy are now best friends. Done, we get a Scholastic coat. Do we get an achievement? The third one? Back to school? Yep. What a long quest line. I don't know if I have time to do one more fight out here. Do the easy ad fight. A little Biggie Biggs. Biggs seems eager to forge further into the machine. We're gonna have another go at finding the giant's core. Wedge, could you... Oh, wait, Wedge, stop listening to that bloody Link Pro. We barged through the Lemoni's front door. They know we broke into their code. But just this moment of some new communication, if you'll give me a moment to... There, it says, oh, death to Uplanders, death to Uplanders. I think we may have started a war. Well, war accepted. Alright, off to the cup of the father immediately. And we'll jump in, take on an army. Guess I'm getting close to doing the main story again. Because there's what? There's Hildebrand left to do, there's Warring Tribe left to do, main story, and the remainder of Alexander. Also a couple more parts to the Anima quest. There's like this one and the next one, and it's done. Should I go maybe open up the extremes, and then I'll just have my slaves help me in my free time? Totally forgot about this. But I didn't know you had to beat the extremes in order to do the Warring Tribe on normal. I mean, these two extremes aren't actually that hard. Hello, person with a funny name, the Diabolical Bismarck. Uncle High. Uncle High, which have you face the Lord of the Mist once more. To prevent the reawakening of the Warring Tribe, then Bismarck must be cast down once more. I'm aware of the rather unorthodox method you employed to lure out and slay the White Whale before, and had in mind to follow established precedent. That said, iron's not easy to come by. I hope it is not necessary, but you may as well show this gemstone to Chief Sonu. He will know as the Weeping Eye of the Manakmanai, and I will ensure that he is completely committed to our cause. And before you ask, I've already informed Master Garland of our plans. He is currently en route to the Blue Window. He's going to hang out here some more. Uncle High would have you face the Lord of the Hive once more. As you prepare yourself for battle, so too does Ravana. Within Thok, he builds the strength, feeding upon the bears of innumerable children. But those same children will not suffer you to live should you surrender yourself to them a second time. You must devise a new way of approaching the Lord of Hive's domain. Consult with the storyteller Lel of the Vath, and he will aid you in this endeavor. Take this bauble. 'Tis known among the Nath as the Burning Eye of Ravana. When time comes, you will know what to do. It's evening time, so not many people are doing their trial roulette. I don't get an insta-Q for being a healer. Probably get an insta-Q if I was tank. Hello, long time no see? Question mark. Have woven the sea. Oh, never mind. I gotta jump into the fight instead. I get to explore here. This fight is just kill things. Make a person take over a mech, pull bombs away. With my merry band of friends. Yay, 100 extra poetics. It's time to Art of War. Art of War. Art of War. Going up here, skip the enemies. I can just jump down here. Less damage bubble. Press your Art of War button. Dude's still getting sniped. Oh, they actually came down. Kill the snipers. Alright, big groups of enemies. Warning! Warning! Kill all the ads. So many ads. I never did this one on Savage. Alright, let's murder. Do people even care about doing the droids on the bombs anymore? You can just like heal through it. They don't even do much damage. Too busy pressing my Art of War button. This button. Jackdaw likes to cleave, I think. This thing just like Tank Buster. Art of War. Suddenly bomb. Don't care about the bomb. 0 damage from explosion means no debuff. 0 damage. Also let us AoE. Ah! Let the enemy's AoE. Explosion. It's like, what if you actually kill the bomb as you come here and sink? It's the bomb. Explosion. Explosion. Gobby boom. Explosion. It doesn't even cover the whole room. Ow. Enemy AoE. Murder. Did it. Robust. More gobby murder. Bomb. More explosion murder. Do I get a hooray? Nope, I just get a nod of approval. Only person left, I guess they get my comm. Alright, success. Second fight complete. More treasure. More jingly shine. Uplander's amazing. Uplander's stronger than 10 gobbies. Hi, Sid. There you are, old friend. I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever find you. Big's account left something to be desired, so I thought it best to see the interior with my own eyes. A treasure hunter through and through. Tell me, what exactly do you hope to find here? Ever heard of the Enigma Codex? It's a book I believe was written some 100 years past. The life's work of one of the greatest technologists ever to draw breath. Within its pages I found myriad wonders, from designs from machina that could operate ceaselessly for centuries to novel ways of culturing cheese. Even a fragment of the book could bring a king's ransom. But most remarkable are the plans for a walking citadel. It was to be a beacon of logic and reason for all the world. A walking citadel? 7 hells we're standing in it, aren't we? The Lumine's primal took its form from that idea. But I sense that none of this is news to you. You've read it then, this Enigma Codex. The design catered for every needful thing, from warm beds to crops to grain. Its occupants would never have to leave. And all in the fortress on feet, impenetrable and ready to move at a moment's notice. The Citadel was meant to bear the most brilliant scholars and artificers of the age to all four corners of the world that they might set about unraveling the mysteries of creation. In this utopia, this shining seat of erudition was to be called Alexander. If Rondrex lived in Walking Castle, Rondrex could collect treasure from everywhere. Indeed you could, little one, and anything you found, be it junk, forgotten teachings, or lost secrets, would be yours for the taking. And what exactly would the Illuminati do with all this knowledge? They would use it to take control, most likely, create a world ruled by a few chosen scholars. Unless I'm mistaken, that's why the Illuminati exist. Bloody fanatics, take a perfectly good idea and make it into an object of faith. What could possibly go wrong? You can make a religion out of this. I can well imagine how people who have spent decades carrying their homes on their backs might crave a home that could carry them. How such a place could seem like a utopia. But we're not talking about a machine here, we're talking about a primal, and primals will be the death of us all. I trust you'll be ready when things come to a head. Utopia's happy place? Where there is junk aplenty, Round Rock is happy. Where is very happy place of MIDE? Wherever he is. Alright, get teleported out. Right by it. Hey, Biggie Bigs. The Enigma Coda sounds amazing. Walking Citadel is one thing, but a self-sustaining Walking Citadel? Genius. It's just a pity the Illuminati had to go and make a bleeding primal out of it. From what I understood, this Alexander was active for no more than a few seconds. That's seconds, and then I drained the hinterlands of Aether. Imagine what I'd do if I wandered the whole bleeding world. I don't think Roundrex realizes yet how much danger we're in here. Too busy hunting for new treasures. Probably for the best, though, eh? Alright, second fight done. Alright, let's go back to talk to this dude again. Our hunter friend, welcome. You come hunting gods once more? None of mine is glad of your thirst for divine blood. Ever more rapacious do the one mind grow as they seek offerings to glut our deity's insatiable appetite. Another path to our guard's domain? Yes, there's but one way. You must seek out the Gine Hive on the far side of the colony and tune your spirit to the aetheryte and source within. But the deed is not possible. We hear that the crystal is warded by ancient ritual magics. The woman have woven the seal such that only the most worthy warriors shall be granted leave to enter. Thok asks Thok, and they do not share with the monoline what they consider worthy. Man, just dive in there. I'll just fly in. No problem. That's the low-level enemies. Nathic Aetherite. After pause, you smash the gemstone against the Aetherite. Nothing much happens. Out of habit, you tune with the Aetherite, and once more, nothing much happens. Alright, I'll have one of my level 100 friends just go and like two-shot these bosses. Bismarck will take a little while, but Ravana is killed just during his introduction in the fight now. The Tremontane returns, and with it the white. So too comes the great Netherling warrior. How about have this Fieldcraft Demi-Materia 3? Like double rainbows in the mist, Sun knows not what to make of this. An eye in the hands of a Netherling. Storm clouds of the Vundu are no match for the eye's might. Smash it against the Aetherite in the whale's crown and he will be vulnerable once more. Bind him with chains of steel and drive him from Cloud Sea. Return Zephyr winds and sunlight to our lands. Yes, because usually Ravana Bismarck just do on my dancer on my main. When I have them as wondrous tales. Hello, there you are. Empire's Excelsior is ready to depart whenever you are. Say again, Chieftain wants to smash some gemstone against the Aetherite to dispel a barrier of storm clouds? I don't even know where to begin. Bow the hell with it. Maybe it'll bring us good luck. I'll rendezvous with you there. Now it's far to the east. Don't need precision Gordian stuff. This was used for the earlier Anima steps. And look up. Look way up. Aetherite way the fuck up here. After pause, you smash the gemstone against the Aetherite. Nothing much happens. Out of habit, you tune with the Aetherite. And more, nothing much happens. Alright, I'll finish those in my free time. So next time, I guess, I'll complete this. Maybe look at War and Try and keep on working through more of Alexander. Thanks for watching! School's out, bitches! Did you like this video? If you did, like it, leave a comment, and share it. You can click on the left button to subscribe, and the right button to watch more Lalafell adventures. Thanks for watching!